If not, I don't think I did. What's up, guys? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Salads here. Welcome to my channel. Today is my weekly with Chris from a Daily Refinement. We are doing a mentorship to get me to 1,000 net sales reselling in 20 hours or less. So follow me on this journey every Wednesday at 6:30 on my channel. We just left his channel at 6 o'clock, chatting a little bit over there as well. So make sure to head on over and watch that as the recording and subscribe to his channel. Today I am I'm waiting for him to pop on. It looks like maybe a technical difficulty, but we are trying to get me to $1,000 net revenue on eBay. What's up, Jacob? Oh, and Val. So we talk a lot about Val. She is my lister, and I actually think she is the one who told me about Chris from a Daily Refinement. So thanks to her for doing that. She does most of my listings, and she is much better at it than I am. We have talked on my channel about finding a VA and when you think it is time to find a VA and how it can be beneficial. So check out that in the recording. If you are new, it looks like we have some returning members, but if you are new here, I am a reseller, which means that I purchase thrift store items and resell them. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Technical difficulties. Hold on. Oh, there you are. Hey, you weren't showing up. Yeah, you're good. So I am a reseller. I sell thrift store finds on eBay, Poshmark, and such. So let's jump in. Today, Chris, I want to talk a little bit. We have been doing the mentorship for a month. I'm a numbers person, so of course I want to see my numbers climbing like gangbusters to prove that I am working. That's not always the case, but I would like to kind of look at my numbers with you a little bit, and then we will pop into eBay a little bit. So last week on your channel, we went over some things to get my eBay sales going, and I'm happy to say they've increased by 50%. So some of the things that I did have been working, and I think it would be helpful to show the people in my channel some of the things that we did, and then some of the statistics and data that we looked at, what that means. So that's kind of the overview for today. Definitely head on over to Chris's channel if you haven't subscribed to him. In the description is that, but I'm going to share my screen and look at, so what we're going to be looking at now. Wait, hold on. Am I sharing my screen? I am not. Hold on. Share my screen. Oh, can you guys see my screen?
I can see it.
Okay. When I share my screen on StreamYard, you guys go away. So now I can't see you. So you're just going to have to talk to me, Chris. I can't see you anymore. Actually, let me make this smaller. Maybe that'll help. Sorry, I'm new.
I think it's working, but go ahead.
Well, it is. I just can't see you. So it's kind of weird to have a conversation with you if I can't see you, right? But I don't think I'm not gonna be able to see you. It's fine. So just cut in when you need to because I can't see your facial expressions. So this is the dashboard. I saw 3 dashboards. This is the one that you can look at all platforms. It just came out the past couple of weeks. So the thing with this, just quickly, we can look at this chart. I started with Chris at the beginning of April, and my April is up from my March. But so this is kind of a good point, right, Chris, to start when I've had one of my lowest months ever, because it can only be, I can only go up from here, right?
You can't really source right now either. So it's a little
Yes,
funky.
right. Yeah, and so I'll point out, you can see this is a dip, this is a dip, and this is a dip. I've made 3 dashboards, and you can probably guess when I made them because it takes a lot of time out of reselling. I was focusing on making a dashboard, so I wasn't putting as much time into reselling. And then we also moved, and I have kids at home now, so that lower point is okay. My comparison, so my April compared to my March, most things are coming up. Which is good, right? Like things are, and I'm talking to people in the community. I have to log in. Things are picking up. Are you noticing that, Chris?
Definitely. I think everyone's so stuck at home.
Yes.
You have people can see your iMovie, so
oh yes. Okay, let me
you can make
that.
it a little bigger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm still learning YouTube,
and guys, this is a great example of, my channel is not very good as far as like setting up actual graphics for people to watch, but you just do it and then you get better over time. So
oh yes, right. Yeah. You just filter through it. Okay, so this is actually my April numbers, and this is where kind of our starting off point, right, Chris? Like this is where I'm at $2,000. If you saw me when I logged in, I'm trying to get to this 5,800 gross revenue a month. So that would be selling 50 items, paying a VA, selling 50 items a month, paying a VA to list 50 items a month. Taking out those expenses, buying the 50 items a month would get me to that $1,000 a month is 5,800. And I'm 37% of the way there. So we have a lot of work to do, Chris. I sold 57 items. My average sale price is high. However, we talked on Chris's channel about sell-through rate. And I think this is a good time. It's so weird to talk to you and not see you. This is a good time. I'll have to figure this out for the next one. This is a good time to kind of talk about this average sale price and what you think. I tend to shoot for a higher average sale price. We talked a little bit on your channel about this, but I tend to, like, if I'm going to sell something, I want to sell it high because it's the same amount of work as selling something for $10, but then my sell-through rate is lower. So I'd like to hear kind of your thoughts on that.
Just for the record, I can see you, so it's working on my end. But as far as the average sale price to me is okay. I think that clothing sellers usually are not this high. That's just considered excellent. I think it would be difficult to get to $30 plus average unless you sell some shoes or some luxury items or maybe some purses. Just pure, especially like if it was only blouses, it would be really hard.
Yes,
But
right.
you have some high-end jeans, you have some dresses, you have some vintage. So I would like to see the sell-through rate higher, but I think that this is what this is what I think happened this last month. eBay is not used to you listing a lot more items.
Yes,
You
right.
basically sold the same amount of items, but with a lot more inventory. So we're
Well,
gonna have
I'm still, because
but
like if you look, yeah, I mean, I'm selling less too, but I was working less. So if you look at like my February, I mean, I was like 107 items,
gotcha.
but I only listed 60. So yeah, definitely I'm listing a lot more. That
So
should
the
catch up.
ASP did go up though. That's
Yes, right.
interesting. Hmm.
Which
I,
leads
I
me to
would have
believe
not
that my average sale price strategy is okay.
that that surprises me. You'd think it would drop because people haven't been working now for a month, but
Mm-hmm.
they did get their stimulus checks. So maybe
Yeah.
people are buying some stuff that they really wanted they couldn't afford before. They're using the government's money, YOLO. So they're just buying whatever they want. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I noticed. I mean, most of, like you said, I sell purses and shoes too. That's why this is higher. I mean, I had like $120 flat out buy on a purse this month that I was like, really? Like, that's crazy for what's happening right now.
Does this dashboard work for eBay too?
Yes, this is all my sales. This is
Wow.
everywhere I sell on. So this is everything and cumulative.
Hmm.
And then we can look at the split out between two if we wanted to. So this is my by platform.
Ah.
Which this is saying my eBay average sale price is actually higher than my Poshmark average sale price, which
with
is,
with less fees theoretically, unless well with promoted maybe similar.
yeah, my eBay fees last month were 22%. So
Wow.
yeah, because I do promoted listings, right? But
Crazy.
still,
That's
I'm
so
okay, but it's still higher.
no, but that's so cool that you actually know that.
Oh, yes, right. I'm
You
a
know what I
data
mean? So
person.
you actually know what your sales. I wonder what my percentage of eBay sales is. Is that 22% include PayPal?
um, I'd have to look. It's the 22% when you look at your invoice and there's like a little chart that says 22%, like it gives you a pie.
Right?
It's that number. I don't know if that does that include. I'm still learning eBay. Does that number include PayPal fees?
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
so then it's actually more.
Um, huh. Okay.
Which is again why. So we can get into eBay now. I did want to just quickly come down to the simulator. So this is telling me, let me make it a little bit bigger, because
Okay.
I'm debating whether I need to do lower average sale price items to kind of increase that sell-through rate or kind of do the long game. So to get to that 5,800, I need to be selling 160 items. This 36 is around my average sale price, but then I need to get to that like 2,600 active listings. But that's based off of this 6% sell-through rate. If I can get my sell-through rate up a little bit higher, to this 12%, that even double, which is not huge, that puts me in a much, I mean, that's like half the active listings that I need to be at.
I
Um,
100% agree. We need to get to at least 10%. So,
yeah,
what do you want the goal for May to be?
I don't know. That's why I have you
Do
here.
you want it to be Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna get out of here unless we want to look at other things. We can always go back. It just, I can't see you, and it's really kind
You
of
can get out
awkward.
of it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious on, yeah, let's make some goals for May since we're right in the beginning of it. Let's figure out um I don't want to I think we had mentioned maybe 50, maintaining 50 listings a week.
Yeah, so I think that's what
Okay.
my lister is actually on the call. And we were chatting today, Chris. She's the one who told me about you. She's like,
Hmm.
you would really like Chris. So thanks
Awesome.
to her. But I've been talking with her, and I think we've kind of decided on 50 items a week is what we're gonna do for May that we can both handle right now. Um, I'm about a week ahead um, to do 50 items a week, which sounds great, but also I'm a mom, so sometimes there's like 5 days when I don't get to do anything. So I like having kind of that safety net of being a week ahead. But I do think doing that 50 items a week lets me see where I am and if I could source that much, kind of if that's a good comfortable place or if I could increase it or what that gives me for sales too.
I added in a $4 free shipping, free returns item that I bought for 10 cents. And I think I make 3 cents when I sell it, but it's okay. At least I don't lose money. And I've sold 8 of them. So I wonder if this is triggering the higher velocity. Ideally, you could do something like that without losing a lot of money. Um, but that it definitely works. Gabe is asking if you mix in lower ASP, will it help build momentum? Yes.
That's kind of and that's kind of where I'm headed. It will.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's overall, and of course, each individual item matters. So, like, you can't, sell paper clips and then your Gucci's going to sell super fast now because of that. But it will affect overall the amount of traffic. They'll give you a certain amount.
Okay. And that's what, so I mean, we can pop it into things that I've been doing on eBay and so I'm going to be a disclaimer. My sales have doubled on eBay, but that went from 4 to 8. So, I mean, that is truly a double, but like I'm
Yeah,
not bringing in boo bucks. Um, but I'll go through the list of things that I did this week that I think helped. The free shipping, I think encouraged. I got like 37% of those sales were free shipping.
hmm,
However, I didn't make money really on those. Right, because they were lower price items, and then I offered free shipping. I made like $4, which for I normally am like $37. Like that seems not worth my money. But if it's increasing my traffic, right, is that worth it?
I think so. In the beginning, it takes a while to build up your velocity, and people often lose money when they're building velocity. I have some shoes that I lost, I think, $2 or $3 in the first couple pairs. And then after it started to go, now I'm making $30 a pair. So I think it depends on the rank. Eduardo is asking, how did you
Oh,
get so
thanks for
much?
managing that. Yeah,
No
thanks
worries.
for managing that.
Eduardo's asking, how did you get so much data on that spreadsheet? And I also want to ask, what is your background before reselling? Why do you even know how to do this?
Oh, yes, right. So I have a degree in mathematics,
Hmm.
and I was going to be a high school math teacher. Economy sucked. That didn't happen. But I did statistical modeling and forecasting for a utility for 8 years. So I'm very comfortable in spreadsheets and data and all of that. So I have about a year and a half of data in my dashboard. And it's just compiled from like I pulled my Poshmark sales report, I pulled my eBay data. So it's also, I mean, I sell this dashboard. So it's all something that you can pull and then look at your numbers as well. And now that I have it all historically in there, when I list something new, my lister puts it in there. And then when something sells, part of my process is I just mark it as sold. And so that my dashboard populates, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So somebody's saying free shipping is killing me right now. So this is how it works. If you have free shipping and free returns, you can charge more. Not at first though.
Yeah, right.
If you don't have a history of, selling a lot of stuff, it's the pay to play. In the beginning, if you want fast velocity, you have to pay for it. Then later, when you're more established, you have that rank, eBay trusts you, then you start selling stuff for more. I can charge $5 more for an item with free shipping, free returns. And if they return it, I have a 10% top rated seller discount. and that's hundreds of dollars a month, which covers some of the fraudulent returns. So
Yeah.
it's not completely free, but it does help a little bit.
So I'm wondering, and Eduardo's asking, I'm really bad about keeping up with the chat, so I'm
I'll
thankful
help
that
you.
you're helping. Yeah, I'm thankful that you're helpful.
Mhm.
How do you pull the data from eBay? Is it automatic pulls from eBay? Yeah, I'm not that sophisticated. I have a background in spreadsheets, so I can build the spreadsheets. I don't have interfaces, and a lot of the platforms you can't actually data scrub and pull from them, so it is something that you have to pull and put in there. If you do use List Perfectly, they have a CSV file. So if you have all of your data in List Perfectly, you can download your CSV file from there, and then it would just go in, if that makes sense. So I'm wondering, because I agree, and I think I need to find that balance, and that's why you're here to help me. I probably on eBay need to maybe do some kind of something to get more momentum going, but not at the sake of like completely, like I don't want to go backwards in my numbers, right? So what, I mean, I was thinking like maybe free shipping on higher price items. Would that,
I mean, free
no?
shipping, free returns always makes things sell faster. But it's just that you're paying for that. It's not, it's like, I would say with your model, I would only do free shipping. I would charge for returns. But
On
again,
everything.
yeah, but it depends. It depends on the type of item. Like as an example, um, a person can open an item not as described for any frivolous reason, and then you have to pay shipping to and from anyway. So it depends on how you look at it. I think overall, I've been doing free shipping, free returns now for almost a month, and my return rate is the same. So it didn't cause people to return items more because I have free
Yeah,
returns.
so I allow returns, but they have to pay for the shipping. And I get like maybe one return a month.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily scare me, but you're saying that I need to make it to where I pay for the shipping, or is that okay?
It's okay either way. I just think that you want to make in the beginning you wanted as slippery as possible. Right now, since the amount of sales went down, that scares me. I kind of want to do all the things that make sales velocity go up first before
Yeah.
we grow the store.
So now you see where I was coming from last week when you're like, why don't you spend money? I want to get what I have to start selling. So this is actually my list or Val. Chris, she has a lot of 2 to 4 pound items. Should I still do free shipping on those?
I just did free shipping on a 40-pound item. So I mean, yes, and to get it to go, and it's sold. It's sold for I built in $100 in the cost for shipping and did free
Yeah, but
shipping.
you're at the point here. You're at the point where you can build that in. I'm
Right.
having to have competitive prices and then also lose money on shipping,
It's
which I'm okay if it's like a short
yeah.
term thing, right? Like for this month, and then like I do a couple of those strategies this month and see if it's gaining me velocity on eBay.
This is a really good topic because so a lot of people will follow what the auction professor does, which is really high priced items, rare, in demand. Then it doesn't matter. You don't even have to have returns because it's so rare. People want to buy it from you. They have no choice. But the auction professor has 20,000 items. Okay, like his store is gigantic. His sell
Yeah,
through rate is really slow, and it doesn't matter. And for Sarah, she's like a one woman show compared to Dawn has a whole family of people doing it. It's very different. It's like you have to look at your unique situation, decide how you want to do it.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Well, so we're making goals. I'm going to do 50 items listed because I have inventory. I bought a bunch of stuff from my cousin. So I have stuff to list 50 items a week. So I can do that. And then I will do free shipping and then keep returns. I do the promoted listings. And then a couple other things that I think helped. And I think maybe I just do them for the entire month. And then we can really look back at the end of, the beginning of June and see if these helped and then readjust. Hopefully, eventually I can take some of these off, right? Or start putting them into my pricing. But things that I did this week on eBay with help from you, and then I don't know if Duncan headed over, but Duncan was helping me too. I changed my cover photo. I linked my YouTube to eBay and have been asking people to follow. I was unaware that like you do want followers on eBay because it is giving you traffic and visibility, even if it's not people that are buying. Sending your items to Pinterest. So I've been sending 20 items to Pinterest a day.
Oh,
I did it.
I hate you. I want Pinterest so bad. But go ahead, continue. Sorry.
Do you not have Pinterest?
I love Pinterest. I just don't use it.
Oh, why? You just click.
I know. There's only so many hours in the day.
I know.
I do like Pinterest though.
I'm with you. Well, Duncan was telling me it like helps with the Google search because Google
Yeah.
like pulls from. So I'm doing 20 items a day. Like I'm not doing a lot. It's, I'm minimal on time as well.
Hmm.
Um, I did a 15% sale. So keeping a sale going at all times, I think,
That's
as
great.
well. Yeah. Free shipping. And I'm gonna lie, I did not do free shipping on everything. I did it on a couple things, like 20% of my store. And then I think I forgot to go back and do the rest. So maybe I'll do it on everything and see if that helps. 5% change. So I'm changing 5% of my items every day, which for me is roughly like 30 items a day. Mostly I'm going in and like changing up and down $1, but probably like 5 to 10 of those items I will go look at the comps, look at how it's ranking, and like actually make the item better. Leveraging social media, so asking for followers. I'm DMing because I need to get my feedback up as well. So I'm DMing after, not, well, I guess it's not a DM, but I'm sending a note after I send it. Hey, I just packaged it. It's waiting for the postal service. Give me a follow, leave me feedback, and then giving them feedback right away, which I was doing before, but I'm just really making sure that I'm doing this. Um, so those who are watching, sorry, it's my thing. Those who are watching, those are definitely eBay tips. I mean, do you think keeping all of those up and we just check back in a month?
Yes, and everybody, please, a couple of things. One, smash the like button for Sarah. So she can build some traction. Subscribe if you haven't before. But I highly recommend that you guys look at the traffic page on eBay, and when you
Yes,
do it,
that's
and when you do a campaign. So let's say Sarah's trying free shipping, or you're trying promoted listings, or whatever it is you're trying, actually see if it's working. Don't go on Facebook and complain, or watch 4 hours of YouTube. Go spend that 4 hours inside the traffic tab and see if it's making your listings get more views. You can scroll to the bottom of the page and look at the view and conversion and get an idea if it's
can
working or not.
we can we look at it? Because that's
Go
a
for it.
tip that you showed me last time.
Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. There it is. That's it, right? You can see it. Here's my eBay. And another tip, which is like not rocket science, but it's very helpful because eBay is a mess, is to bookmark things. So it doesn't take you 10 minutes to find what you wanted.
Absolutely. Bookmarks are
So
huge.
yes, I only have one thing bookmarked right now, but
Mhm.
this is the page that you were talking about.
Yep.
I'd like you to talk a little bit about like these numbers because this
Okay.
was helpful to me. So maybe explain a little bit about what those mean and how those can help.
Okay, here's the first thing. The first thing is the average click-through rate. The first number, that's 0.3 for you. Mine
Hmm.
is at let's see, what is mine? I think it's 0.7%.
Yeah.
So what that means, guys, is 0.7% of the people who see the listing click on it. That's when they're scrolling through the listings. Do they actually stop and click in? So what would make that number go higher is a better title, better picture. Also, if it's trendy and you can tell. So as an example, if you're selling Gucci and it's an all black Gucci loafer, it's not going to get the click through rate as the furry slippers that celebrities wear. You can see the fur in the small thumbnail. The click through rate on that is ridiculous. It's like 50% of people who see that picture click on it. The
Mm.
next number is how many people who click that actually buy it, right? So you guys should definitely spend half of your eBay life inside this tab. Scroll to the bottom of this page and you'll see each individual item
Mhm.
listed, and you can get an idea of what people like and what people don't like. Stop buying stuff that people don't like. Keep buying stuff that people like. And this is how you're going to teach yourself what eBay wants in your store. And eBay is built for replenishables. So if you guys are trying to figure out what eBay wants, it doesn't want thrifted goods. If you listen to the people who are complaining about eBay, 99% of them sell thrifted goods. If you want to eventually grow on eBay, you can do your thrift thing, no problem, but then just only thrift certain types of items. And you're going to need to teach yourself which categories do well. And like obvious ones are like plus size clothing. They're more rare, more people. So it's more people. And I think the average size in America for women's clothing is like a 10, maybe a little
12.
bit
I
big.
think it's a 12. Yeah, I think it's
Okay,
a 10 or a 12. I
let's
think
say
it's a 12.
a 10 or a 12. So obviously, if you're only bought 10 or 12 versus size 0 and double 0, which is what I find here, it's going to have a larger audience and you're going to sell through a
Hmm.
lot better. But then certain brands, 0 and double 0 is going to do super well. So you have to know, like as an example, Eileen Fisher for me, XL sells for like 3 times as much and 3 times as fast. So it's almost like I should go to the Eileen Fisher outlet because we have 2 of them here. Just go straight to the 4X, 3X,
Hmm.
2X section, buy all of that, go home, and it's going to sell because there's just more people looking for it and less of it online. So,
And I love everything that you have to say, which
here's
is why we're working together. Because
so
I have dashboards for Poshmark that look at that.
here's a question. What's a good click-through rate? So as an if you're selling video games, I would say 10%. Like and electronics because people know exactly let's see performance tab.
Oh, do you want me to go back?
No. I'm just putting in the chat. The way that you find this is the performance tab on eBay and bookmark everything
Oh,
because
yes.
everything is really hard to find on eBay. You would think that they would want to make the site easy for us to use, but it's very Windows 95
Yes.
every page. Okay, so
And then traffic. Yeah.
a good sell-through rate for a click-through rate for clothing, I would say is 1%. So you're a third of the way there.
Okay, which is good.
So
And I will say too, like so these pair of pants was at 0 when I talked to you last, and I went in and looked at things compared to other stuff, and now I'm up at 0.4. So I'm doing things right. Right? Like that's good. It went up.
yeah, absolutely. It depends. So I would say 1% click-through rate for clothing, 2% click-through rate. I'm sorry, 2% sell-through rate for clothing would be considered excellent, but depending on the category, it depends. Shoes and handbags, I would say similar.
Yeah, and
And
I would
yeah,
say so I sell a lot of shoes and purses, and I was looking at those, and most of those were much higher, the 1 to 4% um, than the clothes. Oh, shoes and
yeah,
handbags. This is Cheryl. Shoes and handbags. Yes, shoes
uh,
sounds better.
yeah, shoes are awesome.
Okay.
Um,
I think we covered it. Thanks for like moderating my chat, Chris.
no
I'm
worries.
trying to like learn from you in this as well. So then and I'm not as good at YouTube yet. So I'm still trying to figure this out. I mean, this is why I've mentored with Chris and why I know that I will get there is because he looks at the numbers. I'm learning how to look at the numbers on eBay and I'm taking you along on this journey with me. I do know that you like to have your evenings for you and your wife. So I do want to wrap this up. Unless there's anything else, if other people have questions or something, I have one more question for you. But if there's anything else that you'd like to share on this.
I have one more comment, but let's do your question first.
Well, okay. We were talking about Poshmark after we did ours last time about some things that you were going to try on Poshmark. So I'm curious if you tried doing some of the activity on Poshmark and if it worked for you.
Yeah. So I've been poshing harder this month. I'm averaging 7 sales a day, which is good for me considering I'm not I wish I could share my closet 7 times a day, but I'm just doing 3 times a day.
Hmm.
Um
But your closet's big.
my closet is big, yeah. And
Yes.
I was gonna add in my Poshmark, every single comment and offer will be ignored, but that's rude. So I won't add that comment in my Poshmark. So I'll just basically ignore them without being rude. But I just don't have time to answer. I get more than 100 offers a day. I just
Yes.
don't I should be counter offering and commingling, but I don't have
If it's
time.
not your main platform and you don't want to build it up, I mean, and this is where people are like, oh, eBay is sit it and forget. And I'm learning that's not true. I'm spending just as much time on eBay to encourage sales as I do on Poshmark, just in different ways.
Mhm.
And if eBay is, your main piece and Poshmark is kind of your side hustle, then yeah, you want to spend the time on eBay. But the more that you do on Poshmark, the more if you do counter offers, you'll get an algorithm boost, right? So I was just interested to see if Poshmark was picking up for you.
It is. Poshmark is going to be, I'm confident I'm going to reach my goal this month of 7,500 just Poshmark and
Nice.
2,000 on Mercari should be solid. But I have something that I want to give the people in the chat and yourself some encouragement right now, because this is something really important. This is new. What we're doing right now, I consider a blended income. This is not normal. And if you look at it from self-development standpoint, what we're doing right now is not as good as just focusing on one platform. If you were to look at what is supposed to work, just doing one platform the best that you can should theoretically work the best, but nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to sell on multiple platforms. They want to have a YouTube channel. I'm also in that bucket, right? So this is called a blended income. So if you're going to blend your income with a bunch of different things coming in, you have to be more patient. Okay, because the fastest way to make money is going to be just do one platform. Okay, but you might get burned out. You might not like it. That platform might have a dip, and you're going to have to know how to maneuver around that. If you get suspended on eBay, or you have a high defect rate and you get moved to a lower traffic, you're going to have to know that. If you're only on Poshmark, you're going to have to know how to share and communicate and do everything to make that work.
Hmm.
But a blended income takes more patience. So I want everyone to maybe follow Marie, what's her name? Folio. Marie Folio is a good example of a woman entrepreneur that on her Instagram, she's like, I know it's going to take me 3 to 5 years longer to get rich because I want to do everything. And
Hmm.
even though my mentors are going to say, you're a moron, don't you want money for your family? I'm still going to do it my way, and I'm going to take longer to do it because I just like it this way. So again, I'm totally cool either way, to each their own. But I want to encourage you guys, if you're going to take the multi strategy, which I am also doing, it takes longer. So be patient, trust the process. Building up a YouTube channel takes a long time.
Hmm.
All of this stuff takes a long time. Um,
Um,
yeah.
I kind of feel like what you said too was one of the conversations we had this week. And I've had to, scale back. Like I want to do all the things all the time, and it's not. I'm spreading myself too thin. I'm not able to do a good job at all of them. And so I think I've made 3 goals in this conversation, and we can check back in June. I mean, we're doing these weekly calls, so we'll check in too. But like at the end of June, check back in and see how they are. And one of them is to manage my time better, which I know is kind of something you've pushed me into. I went through and timed everything that I did this week, and it kind of pointed out some things that I think. I mean, I have a lister to help with that, but I think some of the social media stuff that I do, possibly looking for a VA to help with that, creating thumbnails and descriptions. It's time consuming, but it's not anything that I personally like. I have to be on the video, right? It's my channel.
Mhm.
But I think that's something that you kind of piqued in all these conversations too, is how can I look to outsource other things that I don't necessarily have to do? And so that's my other goal, is to kind of navigate through that and figure out if that's something that I want to do and how to do it.
And guys, take a note from Sarah on testing. Look at your numbers, test something. Look at your numbers, test something. I have a whole notebook of
Mhm.
ideas I have tried. I've failed millions of times. But
Yep.
the thing is, if you do what Sarah does and test and try something, here's the more important thing. You're going to be happy. It's hard. Trying to start your own company is hard. You want to live life on your own terms. Okay, everybody wants that. It's hard, right? It's like, who wants to live life on somebody else's terms? That's what a 9 to 5 is. Okay, so this is hard. I just want people to be patient, because I'm getting a lot of DMs of people being disappointed or discouraged, and it just takes a while. Just be
Yeah.
patient. It's not gonna happen right away.
And I might be like a light at the end of the tunnel type of person, but I posted on my post a couple of days on Instagram. Essentially was, if you're on social media too much too, I feel like social media is telling you how your business is going. And that's not always, like, social media right now is like, oh my God, reselling is the end of the world and no one's making sales and no one's, and while my numbers were actually down, I was actually pretty pleased where they were, because I didn't really work last month. I made $2,000 gross revenue in working. I probably worked 5 to 7 hours a week reselling. That's pretty exciting. And while it's less than what I've done in the past, it was looking at my numbers and what's happening in my business, and then being able to say, okay, I need to change my sell-through rate. I need to, things that are working for me. I messed around with this. How is it doing? Don't let other people tell you how your business is doing. Look at your business to see how it is doing. And William, I think this is a good one too for any business, definitely resellers. it's a marathon, not a sprint. For sure. Thank you everyone who dropped by. I'm sorry if I didn't get to all the questions. I'm still trying to manage learning from Chris in this environment and also engaging with the community. So I will scroll back through these. Definitely you can leave comments down below for me and Chris if you're watching this in the recording. I will make sure that he gets notified of those. And you can hit me up on Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me. I see a notification there and I answer it. You emails, sometimes I don't always look at those every day. So send me a note on DM or on Instagram if you have any questions. Make sure to hit that thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe if you like content like this. We are just checking in every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on my channel. And then I also put out a lot of other videos and content on here as well. I hope everyone has a good night, and thanks for joining me, Chris.
Bye, guys.